Hello, good morning.
Hello. So you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, good. We have one more student today.
Hey, Peter.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
What's up?
Good morning, Mr. Peter.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, dobrý den.
Good then.
Dobrý den, Petr. So how are you today? Everything is okay?
Almost. Like,
You're sick?
a little bit.
Oh. By the way, what is the weather what weather is in your location? Oh, this cat.
Yeah. It actively
Yeah.
participates in CH
Yes, yes, yes. Assistant,
assistant.
non-executive assistant.
Yeah. So weather is like 0 degrees. No.
Zero.
Yeah, a little snow
During day or overnight?
or night.
Overnight.
Few degrees below 0 overnight, and a little snow, but the snow already melted. So basically, should be fine. Like +3 degrees maybe by the day.
Yes, very similar as here.
Yeah.
There is 0 or slightly below 0 overnight and up to 10 during day. No snow, but rainy. Yes.
So interesting what's going on.
Yeah. Managing by walking around. Yes, I like pets very much, and I have one my non-executive assistant as well. My Yorkie is fantastic. Yeah. Okay. So take care regarding your health.
Yeah. Cat already tries to play physical devices to perform physical penetration tests. Yeah.
Yeah. Pen tester.
Ethically, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Peter, have you
Yeah.
heard about new CPENT version? CPENT AI version, EC Council announced to launch these days.
Not really.
And do you plan to attend training for trainers?
Maybe drop me the message. We will see if there's something interesting. Why not?
You know, CPENT is extension or
the
next step after CEH. It is CEH is.
As usually, you know,
some guys are telling that it is about penetration testing, how to execute penetration testing. But CPENT is a higher level of penetration testing. Course certification, yeah.
This, as usually, this depends on demand. I used to be a Cisco trainer, but due to low demand, just simply discontinued certification. Just for instance.
Yeah. No. I'm just asking if you heard and if you plan to attend nothing else. Actually, there is very low demand for CPENT certification.
Maybe OSCP next time.
Yes.
Could be.
Yes, but probably if somebody wants to be certified with OSCP, they are approaching directly to provider, because there is no training preparation.
Yeah.
It is self-paced, some e-learning, or I don't know how.
That's why I will try to revive, to get back to life, Windows Server courses, because I see some slightly increasing demand in Windows Server lately. Not the server itself, but the course lately. And again, Microsoft pushes everybody to the cloud, but this is too expensive. Many businesses just simply cannot shift to the cloud just because of nature of their manufacturing. Like I'm working in drug manufacturing industry. I'm working in medical industry. we physically cannot move to any cloud, even to data center. We need to perform X-rays directly in medical centers. So we deploy Windows servers across medical centers and build distributed infrastructure across medical centers.
And how about support? Microsoft, is Microsoft supporting this Windows Server technology?
Well,
outside of Azure.
I don't see any drop of support of this. Just they don't provide comprehensive courses for this.
They stopped to provide official trainings. Yes.
But deploying server on premises still in demand, and I don't see this to be dropped.
Yeah, you are right. Yes, we are facing this demand as well. Yes. Okay. So probably there are no questions, so I will disappear silently. And I wish all of you next productive day.
Thank you, Miroslav.
Thank you.
See you guys.
All right, hackers. How was it for yesterday? What was hard? What was new? What was interesting or not? Any quick review, maybe? Any quick feedback? Because we have played with unrestricted physical access. We've dumped passwords from memory with Mimikatz. So you saw pass the hash and golden ticket attacks. Well, we've dumped hashes and tried to hack hashes. So anything new to you in this case, or maybe some commands or anything?
Oh, I can speak if I may.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was new stuff for me because I'm a Linux guy, so the commands in the command line was new for me. But I was familiar with some of the attacks like pass the hash, cracking the password, what is LM hash, what is anti-LM. So I think like 50% was new for me.
Good. You know, when I first passed my CH, that was CH7, I felt like 60-70% was known to me because I did it in practice, and I've passed my exam from the first attempt. And so basically, maybe this is also a good opportunity for you. Yeah. Somebody else wants to tell something? Yes, no, or we'll just continue.
Yeah, same for me. Most of the things was quite new, and what was good to think about the settings of the operating system, for example, in some relationships which I didn't before.
You see, to be honest, there is a big difference between playing with tools and passing the exam. And if you are focused on passing the exam, so tools help a little bit. Just please pay attention what I'm telling you about switches of some specific software. Test the software at home. Try switches. Try your labs attached to your material. Some exercise I'm going to show you are not in the book and not in the exam. But sometimes this is quite spectacular to see, like, wow, this is how hardware vulnerability works. For many beginners, it's hard to understand, like, just simply by reading slides, what is the hacking framework. So once again, yeah, we are playing with tools, but this not necessarily leads you to passing the exam. But still, you have a lot of material to read, and if you're going under UżPracę, you have limited time, like a month, something. So please learn material every day, like 100, 200 pages a day. Like this.
I want to ask, we have no target with operation system Linux. Is the same for the exam that every target is in Windows?
Well, let me try to describe this. Linux is just an operating system, as well as Windows operating system, macOS operating system, and they mostly are built on the same basis, on the same principle. So Windows keeps passwords in hashed way in SAM file. Linux keeps passwords in shadow file. The principle should be the same. It's not like some specific rocket science of hacking Linux. Yes and no. I mean, Linux just the operating system. As everything in this world, like everybody in this world, we are all equal. Everybody is equal to another, like humans. And the same with operating system. They're mostly one the same. The difference is that command line is a little bit different. Folders a little bit different. If you know how to perform hacks on Windows, you most probably will be able to ask AI or Google and easily hack into Linux as well. I think that's my perception of this. Also, even though yesterday we were concentrated on Windows, the next day will be about network protocols, which is not operating system related, just for instance. So operating system is just a part of hacking framework. It's important part. Linux is not the same as Windows, but it's at the same time it's the same as Windows. That's my perception. So, I don't know if I have answered your question.
Yes, you say in principle is the same, but
Principle,
only small difference. Okay.
Yeah, and say in real life we mostly hack applications and network protocols. Say, what is hacking Facebook? I'm not going to hack their website or their application. I will sniff the network conversation. If you connect to Facebook from your mobile phone, I will perform, say, man-in-the-middle attack in wireless network. So I will sniff your traffic and will lead you to faked website. We will have this exercise to create faked Facebook login website. How to do this, and then you type in your credentials. I steal those credentials and log into your Facebook account. Is it hacking Facebook? I guess no. I haven't hacked the Facebook themselves, Meta. I have hacked the network protocol. So again, understanding principles, understanding fundamentals is important part of this. Like when they ask you an exam, what hashing protocol is used to encrypt passwords in Linux, and you're presented a list of algorithms. Which algorithm is used to hash? And you understand that some of them are not hashing algorithms. Only few of them are hashing algorithms. And then you know, okay, this one is outdated, very old one. This is a new one, modern one. Okay, so most probably this one, such as SHA-1, is the hashing algorithm. And you can guess it successfully, like, and pass the question. So understanding principles, understanding framework, understanding the way of thinking. Let me describe one more example. Say I was attacking some machine. I got limited user account and tried to guess admin password. What I saw in a list, I was hacking one Latvian website, and the name, when I typed name for my accounts, I'm doing it like this, and the name I saw in attack machine was like this. Do you see the difference? Sure, you see the name, surname. There's just a name and no capital first. For me, this is a suggestion that the password is simple. And I've tried simple dictionary and succeed in seconds. This one makes a suggestion that the password is complicated because admin spends his time for typing capitals, for typing spaces, for typing surnames completely. So just by simply looking at the user list, I understand that this admin has serious approach to their security. This admin has no. So in many cases, hacking is about guessing or making conclusions based on small suggestions, small guesses, small things, small ideas. So what we are doing now, we try to complete a puzzle. By 2 days, you cannot complete a puzzle. You will see the whole picture in 5 days, maybe. And then you will be able to connect pieces of this puzzle all together. But currently, yeah, I understand that you may not see the whole picture. Okay, my idea is to try to show you that hacking is a way of thinking. It's the approach of building systems. That's the idea. Well, next, let's go to material, if you permit. Hardware vulnerabilities. So I have this demo in my checklist. You could try the same. This is not very hard exercise, but it's very spectacular. It presents you hardware vulnerability at its best. You may have heard of Spectre and Meltdown. The idea that this is vulnerability in CPU. It's not the operating system fault. It's not the application or network protocol. This is the hardware which is vulnerable to specific attacks. In this case, this is CPU. When process is able to access memory of another process, and by this escalate privileges or dump data of another process. I will show you the vulnerability of moving from ring 3 to ring 0 on CPU level. My CPU is vulnerable. I don't know if your CPUs are vulnerable to this vulnerability. My CPUs are. My laptop is vulnerable, and this rack with PC, small PCs, is also vulnerable. This vulnerability is very old. It's more than 10 years old, but it still presents in modern CPUs. That's the interesting idea. So by more than 10 years, Intel was unable to mitigate this vulnerability and still produces new CPUs with this vulnerability enabled. This is Intel vulnerability, not AMD. AMD, you can figure out if Spectre and Meltdown vulnerabilities affect these CPUs, but let's see Intel. For this exercise, we need domain controller. not specifically the main controller, but Windows Server 2008. And we need to log in as limited user. So I'm switching to Peter. So you could do the same. This is a very simple thing. So please log into the main controller as a normal user and run cmd. Tell me when ready. I'm waiting for you to be ready. Tell me if something is not working.
Yeah, I don't have the Peter user on the DC, so I'm trying to add him.
Peer exists on DC because this is the main user. So just the question if it's allowed to log into the main controller. So let me suggest you what to do. So if you go to Active Directory users and computers, if you go to CH local domain, CH users, you will find peer here. If you add peer to a group, say account operators, he will be permitted to log into the main controller as well. But user exists anyway. Yes, and it's on the desktop, Active Directory users and computers. No, below. It's not here. No. It's right here. Good. You know what actually has changed comparing to previous versions of CH? In previous versions, Active Directory wasn't discussed. I don't know why, because it's 20 years old, or 25 years old, and it actively used in attacks. Attackers attack Active Directory. So in the modern version of CH, Active Directory is discussed. So be prepared to have questions on exam. Password 1. Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to my domain controller. First, I've start CMD. Okay, good. Next, task manager. I need to figure out what is process ID of this CMD. So I'm going to processes tab, view, select columns, and enable some columns. This could be useful for you in the future. So you select process ID, CPU time, memory, private working set good, memory page pool, page faults maybe, base priority, IO read bytes, IO write bytes. And this view could be quite useful for admins, developers, IT guys, hackers, and so on. So you see basic activities of processes, how much CPU time is taken and spent already, how much memory was taken from physical memory and page file was the priority of the process, and how many bytes were read from the disk and written to the disk. Now, or say in modern operating systems, such as say Windows 11 on my desktop, if you go to details, you could right-click here and select columns. Also very the same, like let me select column process ID, yes, CPU time, yeah, memory, page pool, base priority, IO read write, no, IO read bytes, IO write bytes, yes. Architecture in description, no. Basically, that's okay for the beginning. Also, on some Windows Server systems, Microsoft, I don't know why, they hide disk performance counters in Performance tab. So my suggestion is, like, you go to SQL Server, if you launch Task Manager Performance, to display disk performance, you specify command in command line disk perf -yes. So by this performance will be displayed in here, and this is very important for most cases. And also CPU. If you right-click CPU, change graph to logical processors, you will see how many logical processors are assigned, not just simply common graph, which summarizes all the CPUs, but changing graph to Newman nodes, you see how many physical CPUs you have. Logical CPUs is a little bit different. So I always select this option. I enable disk performance, I enable memory, CPU view, and so on. Because if your computer slows down, first you don't rely on those values. You rely on this value. This is very important. So the important is a queue. This one, queue. How long is the queue to the disk, for example? How many processes are waiting for disk? Okay, so that's just for information. Now back to my virtual machine of the main controller. So I have selected the process ID, and I see that peer runs CMD with the process ID of 2912. Okay, good. Now let's go to exploit. This vulnerability exists in CPU, and this vulnerability is not covered. I mean, I have not installed a patch which mitigates this vulnerability for this specific operating system. You cannot remove this vulnerability from CPU anyway. It exists, it's built in. And operating system could be patched to avoid execution of exploit, no more. But you cannot remove vulnerability, it exists. So I'm going to peer tools. On the main controller, peer tools, and privilege escalation folder in peer tools, and Intel exploits CEHv13. Then I drop it to start run. So I drag and drop CEHv13 to run and specify process ID of CMD -pib process ID 2912 in my case. So exploit CEHv13 from peer tools, dragging to start, specifying process ID, and process ID was figured out from task manager. Just simply execute, count till 10, and check who am I. And tell me what's the output.
So I'm in Windows error recovery.
Seriously?
Seriously, Peter.
I see.
I wouldn't
Show
lie
me
to you.
this. Show me this once again. Just normally. Start it normally, and this is it. Well, shit happens, but we see that for another student, it was system in here already. I saw it. Yep, that's system. And say my PC, I'm executing. It's executing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who am I? System. I cannot go into details how it works. You could Google about CEHv13 vulnerability. But what's important, once again, about specific this vulnerability, it's built into CPU. It could be covered in operating system, but not necessary. All operating systems are vulnerable. You can Google a list of operating systems, but yeah, I want to show you this. A second. Say Copilot. Oh. What operating systems are vulnerable to Intel CEHv13? Certain 64-bit operating system, FreeBSD, NetBSD, and look at this, hypervisor. Basically, the idea is that CPU vulnerabilities may lead to virtual machine escape, which means that exploit running inside virtual machine can get to a physical operating system, which is very, very dangerous thing. What is VM escape? So you could read this at home. Anyway, that was just an example of a CPU vulnerability. And now we can talk about like Spectre and Meltdown on all different level. I will continue, just the idea that now you see what actually hardware vulnerability is. We did it before. Pivoting we will try pivoting with Trojans, but actually, yeah. Let me explain the idea. Yesterday, we have enabled RDP on attacked Windows 7 machine. So that was Windows 7. And then connected to this Windows 7 machine from attacker machine. And then from within RDP of Windows 7, we have connected to the main controller. This could be kind of pivoting. So for the main controller, you probably saw it yesterday, like admin or Elon Musk, I don't remember, was logged in from another computer, not from attacker machine, but from victim machine. Because I was working inside Windows 7 RDP. And then, technically, it's like you navigate from attacker machine to first victim machine workstation, then you move to some server machine, and then you move to the main controller. So this could be pivoting when you install Trojan into your affected victim and so on. Let me explain idea of user account control. Yeah, because I was quite frustrated yesterday of this user account control. Let me explain anyway what is this. Yeah, I will make it bigger a little bit. I'm logged in as member of administrators group. If you go to computer management, if you check groups administrators, you will see that admin is member of administrators. But when you log in and check who am I all, you will see a lot of interesting, such as have I disabled it yesterday? No. Mandatory group, mandatory group, administrators. I see UAC is disabled on this machine. Okay, maybe some other machine. So this is your access token. So it's pronounced like this, access token. A list of your access IDs. And in under UAC, most of privileges are disabled for your account. And the administrators group is removed from access token. In this situation, it's enabled because UAC is disabled. But administrators is removed from access token. And to have admin access, you need to do what? Right click, run as administrator. It asks you if you really want to, and then you will see administrator what over CMD, and you will receive the whole access token. Like not in this machine. Where was that yesterday? On what computer I was missing an access token? Was it SQL maybe? The built-in administrator is not the subject to UAC. That's why all the groups are enabled. But if you log in, like what was that admin? Martin Apple, or maybe Martin Query. Let me check. Martin Query. No, Apple, yeah. So let me check if I have UAC enabled. So in CMD, who am I all? Yes, administrators. Yeah. So user account control is enabled, and you see that the group is not enabled. And I miss a lot of privileges in here. So I need to run something like this separately, right-click Run as administrator. It asks you if you would like to escalate privileges, and then you will have all the privileges. Compare this, and then you will have this group enabled. In contrast, it's not enabled in here. So UIC was designed as the protective measure for users who consider themselves to be the good security admins, like everybody at home. This is my PC. I need to log in as admin. Oh, I am infected with a virus. That's Microsoft's fault. That's the general idea. My idea is that any virus infections are always your fault, not Microsoft or anybody else. It's always your fault. So, but using two separate user accounts, you could protect your system. Like, say I create user peer admin and will add him to administrators group, or say peer, just simply peer or peer user, and I will not add him to admin group. So you need to separate privileges, separate user accounts. In Active Directory, that's even worse. In Active Directory, it's recommended to have separate user accounts, such as for normal use, for domain admin, not anonymous, not this one, like here, domain admin, and also a separate user account such as peer server admin. So, and then you need to split the account usage areas. Let me explain this by the picture from Google. Previously, it was called Microsoft SI. And the idea was that you have the separate administrative forest with a one-way trust. So production forest trusts your user accounts from admin forest, but not the other way. So in case attacker hacks into production forest, his credentials are not valid for admin forest. And it's recommended to keep, for example, hypervisors and Veeam into separate admin forest, only utilized for providing infrastructure services, and this is it. Now Microsoft has changed this idea a little bit to tiering. So you only are permitted to log in as domain admin to the corresponding domain controllers, and you cannot log in on any level below. Server admin could only log into servers, not to domain controllers, and will not have domain admin rights. And workstation admins, like your IT support guys, are permitted to log in with admin privileges on workstations, but they have no privileges on upper level. And also, let's name it Tier 3 users, normal users. So according to this schema, domain admin must have 4 user accounts and use them separately according to tiering. Like, it should be split in Active Directory by levels and configured by group policies. So domain admin cannot log into any levels below, and server admin cannot log on to workstations, and so on. So this could be called a security boundary. This could be considered as security boundary. So by hacking into workstation, if somebody hacks into workstation, like with unrestricted physical access, an attacker will only have as the maximum the admin workstation permissions, no more, because server admins and domain admins never use their account for lower level objects. That's tiring. Talking about UAC, UAC. Yeah, back to Google. And let me type this. UAC is not a security boundary. So Microsoft says UAC is not a security barrier. It only prevents user from accidentally making changes. And this is it. So please, my opinion is that don't rely on UAC as security barrier, a security measure. But if you split permissions, if you split privileges by separate user accounts, UAC just simply prevents you from normal work. So you need to disable it if you use multiple user accounts. But I have this idea on all the machines, all companies, even at home network. I only use normal limited user account to log on to my home workstations and separate admin accounts to install software on workstation and on server. So I do it everywhere. And next question is, okay, since this is just a security feature, not security barrier, can we bypass UAC? Yes, we can. And there are a lot of ways. How can I bypass UAC? I cannot assist. Thank you very much. Okay, so I need to figure out what could be the question. But you could Google a lot about this. You will see that simply renaming your virus.exe to special something ms install, something like this, I don't remember, exe, makes it overcome UAC. Just simply renaming. So sometimes you don't need memory injection, and everything what is asking users like yes, no, cancel is not a security barrier. I just wanted to discuss this separately because I just simply hate UAC. Also, UAC screws up permissions on file servers, so that's why I'm not using it. We have discussed this already. This is the separate idea, and in general, an example of attack via Active Directory certificate services. If you have two domains, the root domain and subordinate domain, such as CEHv13 and, for example, subdomain CEHv13. There's the default configuration, which allows the admin of subsidiary domain to issue certificate for enterprise admin, and by this to become enterprise admin in minutes. But this is separate rocket science. Let me recommend you a book. Yeah, let's discuss a few books. First is Microsoft book on key. So this one is highly recommended book, Public Key Infrastructure and Certificate Security for everybody. Unfortunately, they don't have an updated version, but still, this is universal knowledge and important ones. So I strongly suggest you to get familiar with this book. not something customized. I cannot, you see, I cannot promise anything about third parties, but this one is a must. One more book, TCP IP. And this time is this one. Microsoft Windows Server, TCP IP protocols and services. Yeah. Protocol-y, usługi, TCP IP. And the idea is that what's the key difference from Cisco books, from A+, from other books. This book discusses how IP protocol is utilized in Active Directory, how frames are built, how DHCP servers replicate the scopes, what is the meaning of 11 default gateways, what's the NetBIOS protocol utilized in Microsoft networks. So this book is focused on IP settings in Microsoft Active Directory network. It's not about routing. And if you are so strong, so you feel yourself almighty, IP version 6. Understanding IP version 6, 3rd edition book. I'm not almighty, so I've tried, but failed at the moment. So you could give it a try. So this is the minimum set of books, IP version 4 and certificate security for admins. Please don't forget about sysinternals. And winternals as well. But again, this is hardcore. Countermeasures against privilege escalation. As I told you, everything begins with separating of privileges. Don't use anonymous accounts. Don't use shared accounts. The built-in administrator must be kept safe. You need to create separate domain admin account for every domain admin, and do not use one and the same account for everybody. So next, run users and applications. Let me say, and services, because applications are launched by users. Yeah. So run users and services with lowest privilege as possible. That's for sure. Never allow user to log in as admin with admin privileges and launch messengers, browsers, line of business applications, and so on. So this were the same. Run services as limited user accounts, because this is security boundary. And yes, implement multi-factor authentication when possible. And authorization is the big question for me. Let me explain why. As you might know, the security process consists of 3 steps. Identification, then authentication, and then authorization. And you may be asked an exam about this part. Could you please tell me what actually identification is? What could it be? Any ideas, please?
So we need to identify the person if Peter is really
Yes.
Peter. So
Yeah,
we need
that's
an ID or something like that.
If he's really peer, it's authentication. So users must be identified with accounts such as Peer, John, Miroslav, and so on. So they must be identified, and what cannot be, like operator, no, or admin, no, user, no, test, no. This could be like heater test. Yes, this could be like that. but not just simply test, test 2, one more test, and so on. All user accounts must be identified. Next, authentication as proof that you are Peter. And how many approvals, how many methods? Could you please help me this? Authentication.
Password, biometric.
Password, bio, something else? Okay, let's, yeah, hardware. Let's explain this like this. Something you know.
Something
Hardware.
you have.
Yeah, this is something you have. This is
something you are.
Someone you are. Yeah, that's correct. And sometimes there could be one more authentication factor, such as somewhere you are. And this somewhere could be defined in plenty of ways, such as, does your computer have a certificate of this domain? This could be considered as somewhere. Do you connect from specific subnet? Yes, this could be the authentication factor. Like peer is allowed to log in from workstations, but not from service. And then authorization is the first step in security process. Authorization means peer can write file such as CData, the folder. That's authorization. Since you're identified and authenticated, so the security object, so maybe, you know what, let's call it security subject. And there could be some security objects defined. Such as disk, such as folder, file, SQL database, or maybe some server. Those are security objects. Security subjects could be users, groups, maybe robots, and so on. And when you put arrows like this and set permissions such as full control, such as read, such as query, such as log on to RDP, and this is the authorization to do something for security subject to security object. So this is just like an explanation of general idea. So the question is, multi-factor authorization seems interesting to me. How could it be? But I have an idea what could it be. If you go to, say, should be the main controller, I don't remember, maybe. Let me check if I can set permissions. Security advanced permissions, edit, no. I will take another domain controller. Give me a second. I will take a modern domain controller. I will take my home domain controller. All right, so this is my home domain controller. Let me check like any file. Properties, security, permissions, advanced add, and say principal peer. Add condition. Okay, advanced permissions, add condition. And now it looks a little bit more complicated than before. And that, oops. So if you go there, conditional access. This could be, I think, this could be the multi-factor authorization. So the user is allowed to read this file with under conditions, and conditions could be specified for users and computers. So if device if device belongs to, say, accounting division. So it could be read if you navigate from IT. It could be modify if you navigate from accounting division PC. But you need to configure here. A second. Active Directory claims. So users and computers can receive additional attributes, and you can assign permissions based on those attributes. So this is it. We don't need to go deep into details, and you will not be asked an exam about this. I just wanted to explain that multi-factor authorization, if you read this, you need to understand what's that, multi-factor authentication, and what is multi-factor authorization. Next, yes, you need to encrypt data. And you need to encrypt in transit, which means using encrypted protocols and at rest. So data should be encrypted at rest, which means in a database, on the file server, or whatever you keep the data. This could be a good idea if you have multiple services running on your servers. Please create a separate user account for each service. Say, I create a separate SMTP account to send SMTP mail. Vim separate account to perform backup. Separate SQL account for SQL databases, and so on. And of course, patches. You need to update, not the kernel, update operating system, firmware, and applications. No. Okay, you may read this suggestion, but my way is to disable UAC completely, because this is not security boundary, but you separate the user account. File system permissions using ODNet tools. Let me show you what could be done. That say there are two things I do on my file service. If you get like file server or something like this, let it be file server. If you go to some folders such as, okay, data. First, I audit deletion of data in shared folders. So if you go to properties of this folder, if you go to security, advanced, I'm not checking DACL, I'm checking SACL. In SACL, yes, I do add everyone, success, delete. So this is the type of audit I install on shared folders. If somebody, anybody, deletes something from the folder, this is written to security log. And it saved a lot of lives, I'd say. In conjunction with shadow copies, plus shadows, it gives you the good tool to figure out who was deleting files on purpose, and then you could recover those files from shadows. Or say, what else I do on file service? Yeah, one more tool. Let it be whatever, Firefox. Oh, not necessary, because I have it in my tools. In peer tools, so I'm going to peer tools. I'm going to system terminals, access enumeration XZ. And say you have sensitive data on your data disk. Okay, I will check CD Windows. So I check permissions on my shared and application folders. I'm not checking permissions on Windows folder or something like maybe program files. No, but time to time I check permissions on my file servers, on project folders, and maybe home folders of users. Yeah, this is also quite useful. So this is what I do on file servers. So basically, that's my response on this recommendation. Whitelisting. We will take whitelisting today or tomorrow. We will install application whitelisting. We will configure group policy, and also we'll learn how to get through whitelisting to the system. But whitelisting is very important. Once again, say there are top 3 countermeasures which are the most important ones, the top 4. First one is separation of privileges and accounts. So you log in as admin only when necessary. And then you need to advance this idea to Microsoft SI or something else. Second is application whitelisting, which tells you that all applications are blocked with exception of exceptions. And then you will figure out that viruses and Trojans are unlisted in a list of application whitelisting group policies, and those they cannot be executed. Next one, it works in conjunction with number 1, DACLs. Discretionary access control list. You need to control access permissions on all objects, security objects. And the last one is updates. I mean, you need to install Windows Update, you need to install updated drivers, firmware, applications, and so on. So I consider this my top 4 of security. Of course, it's not limited to, because there should be the encryption of protocols like use SSL and so on, use network separation. But top countermeasures are as simple and as complicated. They are very complicated, actually. Use few qualified domain names and paths. Not only paths, but also FQDNs. What is this about? You saw it with HT breach vulnerability. IPsec was searching for specific DLL without full path. And that's why user was able to hack into the system. So you need to specify full path, such as C Windows, System32, calcxz, not just simply calcxz. Or say, when navigating to a file server, you need to specify like file server.ch.local, not IP address. And also you could avoid using just simply fs name. So using FQDNs is highly recommended to ensure encryption works on certificates. This is about whitelisting, basically, and DACLs. Yeah, DACL. This is about whitelisting, and you know what? Not only whitelisting. This is about let me figure out how it's called. Culture. There are a lot of admins who play with new utilities. They like new technologies. They like testing software. Oh yeah, new utility. Let me check it. Oh, so funny. Many windows, many fancy colors. Oh, so cool application. Basically, a lot of applications like that actually provide you with a Trojan, not something useful. Such as I saw it many times. Registry cleaner. this is definitely unwanted system utilized. And if I see registry cleaner somewhere, I say technicians, format reinstall. I'm not going to discuss this. Format reinstall from scratch. But why this is cultural issue? Because a lot of admins just do it like, okay, he will never know. I will test it. I will do it quickly. And then the system may become infected. Next, let me check my list. I don't see it in here. Hidden tracks. Maybe. Okay. Checking my checklist anyway. What I have missed. Because now we're going to viruses. Keyloggers. Okay, let's discuss this. Remote code execution. Let me just remind you ESExec, ES tools, and ESExec. You know this tool. So you could also use PowerShell such as entropy session and enable WinRAM on target machines for remote code execution. So that's 3 ways to do this. Also, don't forget that you can control remote machine if you are authenticated on a remote machine. You can do what? Say like this. I will relog on as admin. Is it Martin or admin? Who am I? Who am I? Martin. I don't want to be Martin. I want to be admin. There are a lot of tools, built-in tools, which help you managing remote computers. I'm not talking about sysadmin stuff. I'm talking about hacking. So if you say have computer management, right-click, connect to another computer, and select the address of, say, CEHv13, computer name. If you're authenticated, you can control the remote computer like this. You can have a lot of stuff like this. If you want to connect to registry, I get it. Right-click. Oh no, file, connect network registry, and a little bit CEHv as well. It may state that service is not running. Okay, not a problem. You go to services on the remote machine and check remote registry service if it's running. And this is how you can control remote registry. Sometimes it's quite useful. Like you can load a registry of user who is logged off. Say you select users, you select file, load Hive. You go to C drive, you go to users, you go to like Martin, Sheila, whatever. Select end user that, name it Sheila. And now you can control local user registry. Again, considering you have permissions for that. But those techniques are actively used by attackers to modify something in registry, in local machine, in specific user registry, on remote machine. And we also use tools like built-in tools like computer management to control remote computers. Not only PSExec or PowerShell sessions. Yeah. I don't know if it's configured. Maybe enter PS session, CEHv. WinRAM is not enabled. Okay, I need to enable WinRAM and then and configure it. Remote management, and then I will be able to use PowerShell to work remotely on that machine. Keyloggers. Keyloggers could be different. Let me show you an example of hardware keylogger. like this one. It's enough to install it once, and then you could connect to this keylogger via wireless or Bluetooth. I like this. I like this picture. And nobody ever checks for additional hardware in their PCs. And of course, oh my God, cable. Where is it? Where is it? Oh my God, cable. I don't see it in the list, but you saw it yesterday. Oh my God, cable. Because we were discussing this. Hardware keylogger could be built into BIOS, in the firmware of workstation. Sometimes users use unsecure wireless keyboards. I don't know if they have an example, but those keyboards connect to any dongle, and if you have multiple keyboards, they sometimes mix dongles, which means encryption is not enabled. So I try to avoid using wireless keyboards. Or say software keylogger. Let's install it. So please go to victim machine. I will show you one good keylogger. So this is victim machine. Please log in as admin. And go to Peer Tools. So I'm waiting you all together on victim machine with Peer Tools. Tell me when ready.
Ready?
Good, good, good. So let's go to CH course and check advanced keylogger. Just simply install it. This is very old but good one. I used it in real attacks. That's why I like it. I'm clicking next, and then a few interesting options. So I will wait a little bit until everybody is ready.
Sorry, where is it located?
It's CH Tools. Oh, no, Peer Tools. You go to Peer Tools. Peter Tools. Yeah. CH course. And check advanced keylogger. Go. Install it. So during installation, it asks you one good thing: automatic uninstall. I like this. So you could uninstall it automatically in a week. So you need to only visit your victim once, and then you will have logs supplied to email and automatic uninstall. Cool. Next good question is this one. Where is it? Give me my question. This one. It says, if your antivirus has detection of this keylogger, please add this to whitelist. I will make a screenshot of this list, because I will show you one more interesting thing about this later. Keylogger. You will see this later. Yes, I have added to whitelist. Go. Unfortunately, if you experience issues with keyboard, this could be challenging. Control Alt Shift R need to to be pressed simultaneously. Control-Alt-Shift-R. Reboot. Okay, let me reboot. Yeah, I can't help you with this if you haven't reconfigured your.
It's not possible to.
Maybe. Okay. So please watch then, and this is it. I understand this could be challenging. My victim was hibernated. Now it's asking me to repower. Okay, good. Victim, go. All right. So Peter is logging into victim machine. Your password 1. Okay, good. And now he decided to go to his favorite place. Say, oh no! I forgot one thing. We need to configure keylogger because the default configuration is not as good. So I'm pressing Shift Control Alt R once again. And let me show you options. In options, I'm going to personalize. And what specific options I'd like to configure? 2 things. First one is take screenshot every minute. Not every 5 minutes, but every minute. That's first. And second, you may want to configure email. So you don't need to visit your victim once again. You will have your logs on your specific Gmail. So in this case, I'm setting up screenshots every minute and back to welcome screen. Yes, save, and close. Yes. Now it's running in the background, nothing else. Okay, my favorite place is my internet bank. Not bad. www.mybank.com. User loser, and the password 123. So this is my internet bank. What else? Say my salaries or other. Excel. Do we have Excel? Yeah. No activation required. Salaries. Manager 1000. Sales 2000, and say IT 3000. I will wait for a few seconds for screenshot to be made. I think that's enough. So let me call Control-Alt-Shift. Yeah.
Is it keylogger seen in the process list?
No.
It's hidden.
Yeah, it's hidden, and I will show you why. So, okay, I'm calling keylogger configuration once again, checking keystrokes, and you see a list of keystrokes. Salaries manager by bank, loser, password, everything is here. Show me screenshots. As you might see, there's screenshot with Excel and bank and so on. And one more screenshot with configuration of a keylogger. But basically, so screenshots are made every minute, and the keystrokes are saved to a log. Wow, what's even more interesting, I didn't expect that. It has sniffed the password. I have not tried this yet, but it sniffed the login password. Okay. Clipboard has nothing at the moment. Website not visited, but this is up to you to test this version if you want. So any questions about keylogger? More questions? Okay, let me explain. You wanted to know? Let me explain. Have you ever heard about rootkits? There are two types of rootkits. One, mostly for Linux, is when you recompile libraries to include your hidden code. And one more type of rootkit, which resides in memory and modifies memory requests and responses. Say you have antivirus. So this is antivirus, which calls for API trying to list C drive contents. API calls for kernel, OS kernel. Operating system kernel figures out that this disk is formatted NTFS, so it goes to ntfs.sys, and ntfs.sys reads data from physical disk, SSD. SSD returns back a list of data of objects in the root of C drive. That'll be C Windows, C virus.exe, C page file, sys. Very simple. This response goes to operating system kernel and could be intercepted on this level, or maybe on an API level, let be on kernel level. So full list. And then on kernel level, there is the rootkit. Which monitors responses from NTFS and returns back modified list of objects, such as C Windows and C page file sys. So antivirus receives modified list of objects, so patched list, altered list of objects, and only checks C Windows folder and page file sys, and it never knows that virus.exe exists on C drive. That's the idea of rootkit. If you have memory, so it calls for memory manager, like I told, if you have memory, of course you do. If you want to check memory, so antivirus goes to memory manager, which also part of some kernel or whatever. Let it be, I don't know, some sys file, or yeah, it should be API as well, basically. Let me redraw it in a little different way. So memory manager is here. And it asks for physical memory content, RAM, or whatever, it returns back the full list of applications, of processes, like SAS.exe, like Explorer.exe, running in memory, and virus.exe running in memory. But it has the rootkit, so basically transport is like this. So it returns back the altered list with only SAS.exe and Explorer.exe, and virus.exe is hidden from the list. Like this. So everything takes place under control of a rootkit. Rootkit itself is not a malware, like it's not a virus. Okay, it is malware, but it's not a virus. It's not a Trojan. It does nothing else, but just simply covers some specific malware, covers its payload. And that's why you don't see it in the list. Actually, we will analyze the system just a little bit later. You will see the DLL, which specifically we will see. But of course, you cannot see this process in process list with no any privileges. We will do this a little bit later with Metasploit. Spyware. Let me do what? Change it to malware, just simply malware. Oops. Hello. I got disconnected, don't know why. So malware. And then we can discuss this as malware in general. Because yes, malware could be different. Say virus is not the same as a Trojan. Virus, Trojan, and is not the same as worm. You need to distinguish between them. Like
Peter, you are not sharing your screen.
Oh, yeah, because I got dropped. And do you see it now? Sure.
Yep.
So I'm replacing this word with malware, but still you need to distinguish between a virus, between a Trojan, between worm, between dropper, encoder, keylogger, and so on. So virus, you need to run it. You need to launch it, and then it deploys itself to, say, all the executables. It replicates itself. Replicates, but you need to launch it. In contrast, worm also replicates itself, but you don't do anything. It's enough for you to just simply connect computer to the network. You just simply turn on the PC. And this is it. It's done. Worm exploits vulnerabilities. So it replicates via exploits. This one replicates with your permissions, your account when launched. So this is a big difference. Trojan typically never replicates, or say a dropper is only designed to drop executable to your disk. It's not the virus itself. The typical use case of dropper, let me check, like victim machine. I don't have this example, but I can try creating new macro name, haha, create, and let me say say command equals PowerShell exe dash encoded command blah 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 blah, and this is base 64. And Okay, I understand. And the next is a system say command, like something like this. I don't remember the specific syntax. So this is not a virus itself. Okay, let it be like this. Dash encoded command get http live sysinternals live.sysinternals.com/autoruns exe dash out file C Windows, and then you know what to do next. And to execute after semicolon, execute this file from C Windows. This is dropper. So this is not a virus itself. It's just simply designed to drop you a virus. Okay. So countermeasures against malware such as keyloggers, spyware, and so on. This doesn't work. Doesn't work because users will still continue opening everything. This could work for some reason, but let me drop you an idea. If there was the best antivirus around, viruses would not exist anymore. But viruses just only increase in count every year. So basically, my idea is that antiviruses do not work. Not on purpose, not like there's some theory of something. No. They just simply do not work. They're not effective. They're ineffective. That's why viruses continue to work. And again, this is mostly cultural question, cultural issue, not technical issue. So you could install this software, but it doesn't work. It still doesn't work. This one doesn't work. In many cases, you cannot recognize phishing emails. If you do, your users don't. This one is a must. This could be a good recommendation, but say what's important in here is user training and awareness. This one, bullshit. Maybe this one is good idea. Let me show how to do this. If you go to, say, SQL, you want to install some software. And this software is located somewhere in your C, or not C, it's peer tools, virus, Unicode exploit. Okay, I will do this one. How do I check if this is a virus or not? Let me go away. Oof. You go to virustotal.com. You specify what specific executable you want to check. Come on, give me virustotal.com. What stops you? So that's it. That's not fast. I don't want any updates. Please skip it. Skip the shit. They don't want me to go to Aristotle. Thank you very much. All right, eventually it's ready. So you select a file. You go to peer tools, say Unicode exploit, executive report exe, open. So what? That's it. I'm not impressed. Oh, it's going. They say this is a virus. Okay, good. So the probability of having this as a virus is quite high. Could be some Trojan or something. Actually, this is not a virus, but okay, I gave it a try. So checking anything before installation with VirusTotal is a good idea. Technically, I utilize two techniques. First, create DACL secured repository. So I keep all of my executables, all the installation files, I mean, on a separate file server, protected with permissions. So IT guys cannot modify this repository, such as just simply file server, repository, repo, and say installation of everything like applications, operating systems, drivers, line of business applications, everything. And users have read access permissions. So our IT guys can install everything from repository, and since it's protected with access permissions, it's unchangeable. One more technique which I use in my networks, the second one, is Windows Update Server or SCCM deployment. If I put some executable, such as, I don't know, 7-zip, Windows Update Server, our local Windows Update, it's not Microsoft Update, it's our local Windows Update Server. So I deploy this application to all workstations with system credentials, and IT guys are not involved. This also changes the risk, it minimizes the risk of infection. So our guys are restricted from installing shit from the web. And third one is VirusTotal. So you check everything against VirusTotal before deployment or putting into the repository. As you might see, this is technical measure, yeah, to create a dedicated repository. This is technical measure. But what I do, I'm excluding human work. So IT guys are not involved in installation in this case, or they take executables from clean repository. So this could be a good idea anyway. They say install. This bullshit. This one could be a good idea. And let me introduce you 10 immutable laws of security, which correspond to this recommendation. A second, I'm searching for this 10 immutable laws of security, of IT security, this one. Let's begin with this very simple thing. If someone runs their executable on your PC, this is not your PC anymore. This is for sure. If somebody has unrestricted physical access to your PC, this is not your PC anymore. This one, also a good idea. Basically, as you might remember, dependencies. We were discussing dependencies. Let me explain it once again. This is my company domain controller. This is as secure as my workstation. So I log into my workstation as peer, and then I go to my domain controller as peer admin. So if somebody installs keylogger on my workstation, so DC is also compromised. That's the dependency. And that's even more. I connect to my PC from my home laptop. So the security of my workstation depends on security of my home laptop. As a result, and this is transitive, so the whole domain security is dependent on my home laptop security. This is clearly recognizable dependency. Or say, look at this idea. I'm logged into victim machine as Peter. I told you that you need to use separate user accounts. Say I need to install new software without logging off. What I do, right click, run as different user, select administrator, password, good. So I am working in limited permission environment, so I'm safe, I'm secure. When I need to configure or install something, I do it here, like computer management on a C or disk part, say, and configure disks. So I'm doing this with admin privileges. And this could be considered secure because I only escalated privileges for a single window instead of the whole environment. But is this really secure? Let me check. Keystrokes. Oops. Now tell me, if workstation is compromised, is the domain compromised as well? Sure. So run as if I'm encrypted, if I'm infected with keylogger, typing admin credentials in here or maybe in here. Okay, let me check one more idea. I'm using limited account on my workstation, and then I go to domain controller, CEHv13. And I'm escalating privileges in a single window, but I'm not working as admin, right? Okay, just simply let it continue. I don't need to continue. Let's check keylogger. MSTSC, administrator, password. As you might see, keylogger sniffed just simply everything. So now this is to explain you the idea that DC dependent on your workstation security, which is dependent on your home laptop security. And the whole company depends on that. Well, basically, let's return to this. Law number 6. Computer is as secure as administrator is trustworthy. No more. And in a plenty of meetings, like if I utilize all the security measures on my home laptop, is my home laptop really secure? And again, this is cultural question, not a technical question. And second is, if somebody comes to me and asks me for money to steal general manager's email, that's another meaning of trustworthy. And this one also is important, and let me put an exclamation mark. Technology is not a panacea, and technically we do what? We understand security as Mercedes-Benz, like technical measures. Well, no, not like this, but technical measures like hardware, better say hardware, then software or configuration, and then human factor. So your security is only solid as this triangle is solid. Or these all pieces of a pie are solid. And then, okay, you can achieve some level of security, but technology is not a panacea. Technology only covers one part of this pie. Okay, so you could Google immutable laws of security and have your homework like simply checking, trying to understand what is this. So that was an expansion of this idea. Be cautious about everything. You need to have critical thinking. Could be good, but still it's somewhere not at the very top. This one is good idea, even with 3 exclamation marks. This is good idea in general, but depends. For example, why hacking still possible? We have a company with multiple servers and multiple workstations, and the management came to me like, let's move to Windows 11 because this is new system. Because Windows 10 should be dropped by Microsoft this autumn. Like the support will be ended on Windows 10. I say, okay, Windows 11, the latest Windows 11 corresponds to Windows Server 2025. Windows Server 2025. Are you ready to buy all the licenses for all Windows servers? And also not only licenses for server, but also for client licenses, CL as well. Are you ready? Are you ready to buy all the RDP CL? Are you ready to upgrade all the data center licenses? And they say no. It costs a lot of money, a lot of money. So that's why we are not moving to Windows 11. That's the reason. So we stick with Windows 10. So keeping up to date is a challenging task. Let me explain this idea. I see that we have missed the coffee break. Okay, few words and let's go to coffee break. If your PC is compromised, just in case PC is compromised, what next? Shall you cure it? Shall you remove the virus or something? And now look at this. So hacker is not stupid. Who is the hacker? It's highly skilled engineer developing their software. They are not interested for you to be able to find him. They're not interested for you to be able to clean your PC. So I consider in most cases clean up is not possible, and you need to destroy your PC. I mean format disk and reinstall from trusted source. So if your computer becomes compromised, everything is under control of attacker. So you need to do 2 things. First, reinstall from scratch, from clean source. And second, figure out what was the source of infection. What was the reason? 2 things. And mitigate. Automated installation procedures allow you to skip manual work and avoid infection from IT support guys. Education. Training of IT staff is important. This is what I do time to time, but still they do whatever they want. But this one is non-technical question. This is cultural question. cultural issue that they download shit from download.com. But you know, it was an incident in my company, like IT support guy was unable to recover Windows XP because of failed hard drive. But we cannot change this XP because this is drug analyzing computer. This is built-in appliance. It's not just simply PC. It's appliance supplied by manufacturer of the product. So we needed to reinstall PC with Internet Explorer 9. But Microsoft has removed this shit from their web. Totally removed. You cannot download it from Microsoft. Where do you get it? You Google it. You go to download.com and install virus instead of this one. So Microsoft, by removing older version of the software, has significantly lowered the security because users, which are forced to search for older applications, download shit from infected web. Okay, let's have a coffee break for some 15 minutes, maybe 20. I'll be back soon.
And Peter, how long will be the break? Peter, how long will be the break?
Let's say 15 minutes or 20 minutes.
Okay, okay.
20...
It's fine, it's fine. Unstoppable Peter today.
NTFS data streams. Let me show you shortly what is this, what it looks like. For describing NTFS data stream, I'm going to any machine. It doesn't matter which one. So I need to say, okay, a little bit this one. The victim, later victim, whatever. So in CMD, I will just simply switch to administrator instead of user. Because I will use symbolic links. So this is admin of Windows 7, 8, 10, whatever, any machine. This is the feature of NTFS. So I'm going to desktop and create a file on the desktop. So echo hello world to say report.txt. So on my desktop, now there is a file, report.txt, which contains hello world, words, and it is only 14 bytes long. Okay, now echo a proxy server address is 1234 to the same file report.txt, but to alternate stream. Column proxy. So what did it do? If you reopen report.txt, you will see the same hello world. And that's it. Nothing else. But if you call notepad from command line, notepad report.txt, and specify this stream name proxy. Oh no. Okay, I will fix it because of specific notepad issues. More or type maybe. Let me check if type will work. More input, yeah, a bit like this. So the input was taken from alternate stream of report.txt, and it contains some sensitive information. To make it easier, I will specify extension for this alternate stream. And now notepad will work. Notepad proxy.txt. As you might see, there are two files hidden under one name. And that's even more. I can download some Trojan. So I'm going to Computer Tools. So on C drive, on E drive, I'm going to Unicode exploit. Where's my Unicode exploit? Let be like executive port. I will drop it to my desktop, rename it to just simply report.exe. And I will do what? Type report.exe. Yeah, that's correct. That's exe. But I will redirect the output to report.txt column surprise exe. I will make extension, which is not necessary, but let it be like this. So, and now I can delete report.exe. Everything now is contained within report.txt file, which is still 14 bytes. But now, and yes, it takes 4 kilobytes on disk. How come? Okay. I could call more from report.txt column surprise exe, and you will see that this data actually is inside. It's here. It's still here. I can also make a link, but let me show you how many streams we have in this file. So directory /r on the desktop /r. Now you see that this file report.txt contains 4 streams, 4 sub-files. The original default stream and more named streams. And one of them is 0.5 MB thick. I can make a link. Make a link. Hello XZ 2 report txt column surprise XZ. So this is symbolic link. Hello XZ. Okay, libxz. This is a link. That's not the body of the file. If you select properties, you will see that it's nothing. It's something unusual. But it points to this file specific substream. It's not easy to launch it because what is this? But you say can do it like cmvc hello XZ, and now your computer is blocked with Latvian police, cyber criminal department, and so on. So that was real executable. If you delete this executable, the alternate stream still exists in here because that was not executable. That was a link. So once again, CLS, and let's check dir. So this exists still here. Alternate streams exist on NTFS file system and is property of files and folders. So you could hide this data under folder as well. Say empty folder, not necessarily empty folder. But you see, that's not the way to execute viruses. You just simply hide some sensitive information, yes. But this is the property of NTFS. It's not the property of any other file system. If you email this file, email is not NTFS. So the only default stream will be attached. If you send via messengers, this is not NTFS. If you zip it, send to compressed folder, and check zip file properties, you will see not megabytes. So basically, zipping will also lose properties of this file. The only way to deliver this file as a whole is NTFS. So you can copy it to USB disk, format it in NTFS, and then, yes, it may have alternative streams saved. Not that much about streams, but you can be asked one example about this. So this could be a good idea to hide some sensitive data into streams. But I think much more better idea is steganography. And let's do this together, because this is simple, funny, interesting. We will hide a secret message behind the picture. Just an example. You can utilize it in pictures, documents, video, audio. So we will take this one and this one. How does it work? Please go to Peter Tools. It could be any machine. You know what? I will select Windows 8 because its Internet Explorer still works. Or I need to install the browser on some system. You could use Windows 2012, just not 7. But this one is good. So I'm going to Bing, bing.com. You could use Google if you want. I will search for some pictures such as Italy, or what is this? Okay. Funny car. Maybe like funny car, maybe. And that'll be images. And that'll be like some JPG. Whatever one, like this one. Okay. Right click, save picture as, and save it to my desktop as funny car JPG. So it's here. It's car, nothing really special, just a car, maybe. And tell me if you're ready. If you have downloaded some picture, it's ready on any machine again, almost any machine. Okay, good. Good. Next, I'm going to Peter Tools. In Peter Tools, you go to CEHv13, CEHv13, and go to image height and run it. So this is the path of this executable. Next, you open this image to image height. So I click load image from my desktop. Funny car. Okay, good. When opened, you could type some secret text. Its salary of a general manager is 1,000. And click write data. And then save image. So by write data, you embed this secret text into the image. And then when saving, select some PNG format is good. And close the software. So this one is original one. And this one contains secret message. Then you go to image height once again, open image with a message and try getting this data from the picture. So I'm going to image height once again. I'm opening this funny car PNG, load image, and clicking read data. And that is the result. The salary of a general manager is 1,000. Did you manage to do this? Any success? Okay, good. Yes. That's very good. Write data, save image, PNG. Good. Close, free open. Oopsie, that's not me. Okay. Open load image, PNG, and read data. Yeah. Doing good. Not as good. And what was this? Student 3. I will reconnect. Okay, so basically that's the general idea of hiding data. And then you can send this image attached to an email message or via messengers, taking that some messengers recompress images. And by this, you will lose data. And now look at this from the point of view of security admin. When you see that users are sending to each other some funny pictures, like cats, other animals, some memes, you never know what's inside, actually. Especially when they say send those messages to outside the company. Say some accountant accountant operates money information, financial information, well, money. And the accountant sends to somebody else to Gmail funny pictures. Is it really good? I don't know. One more way to hide data in text files. For this, I continue working within CH course and going to Snow. Please copy CEHv13 to your desktop. And you know what? Let me comment this from exam point of view. On exam, you will be asked on Snow switches. This first. You may be asked, because I always was asked about Snow command line. On practical exam, I have used image height to retrieve sensitive information from pictures. I was doing this on practical exam. So it's good idea to go through your labs to steganography and make it try. So Snow, copy to the desktop. I need some big text file. I'm going to my C drive, going to Windows, and navigating to the very end, Windows update.log. Copy, paste. And then command line once again. So yeah, just simply cmd and cd desktop. Oh, I'm still Haxor. Okay, let me Haxor, whatever. On the desktop, so I have SnowXZ and Windows update.log. Just a text file. So nothing really special about this text file, just a text file. Now SnowXZ, and there is specific syntax like -c, C capital, M small. Okay, the Snow -c compress dash message double quoted, say my password is 123, and the original file is Windows update.log, and the new file, say Windows update 2.log. So I have compressed this message to make it shorter and embedded this message into Windows update 2.log. And then you could try finding difference between two files. Okay, of course you can use compare command, but it's funny to try finding it with your eyes. So once again, the command line is snow-message, the message text, the original file, and the modified file. Okay, so this is going to be my modified file, and this is going to be an original one. Now tell me, oops. Now tell me if you see the difference between two files.
No.
What?
I don't see the difference.
You don't see? Okay, maybe somebody else.
Maybe spaces?
Yes, that's correct. That's why I have selected spaces. So this message is encoded, not encrypted, but encoded into spaces. You could use additional switch-p password to encrypt it. So yeah, it's in spaces. So if you select everything and scroll down, you will see more spaces added somewhere like this, like that. all of this spaces contain this secret message. If you want to get this message, snow Windows update 2.log. What is this? -C maybe? Yeah, because it was compressed. So you need to specify original switches. My password is 123. It's here. Was it any hard? Was it any funny? Should be. But you will be asked on exam about this. So that's why this could be important. Stag analysis. We will not do this, and you will not be asked on exam about this, I suppose. So just simply, this is the separate rocket science. That's why I'm skipping. Okay, checking what's next. What's next? Golden ticket. You know what's that already? Maybe this is worth mentioning. In Active Directory, if your account has ever been to admin groups, this attribute is set to 1, admin SD holder, which removes permissions from IT support from your account. This is simple. If you go to the main controller, if you enable advanced features, if you go to, for example, admins, administrator, you go to attribute editor, as I might remember, this could be somewhere here. Admin SD holder. Don't remember which specific attribute. And possibly I don't have permissions to read this attribute because I'm logged in as limited user. So anyway, the idea is that if you have this attribute enabled, so you are protected from being modified by limited user accounts with delegated permissions. But sometimes it's interesting to do this, and you could also check Secure Academy for two options of accounts in Active Directory, which are hidden. Like maybe not Secure Academy, just simple Google. How to create hidden account. So this account will not be displayed on the login window, but you can log in. And Active Directory account lifetime token. And you will see that there is the attribute which defines the lifetime of the account. After that lifetime expiration, account is deleted, removed, silently removed from Active Directory. But this could be, again, deep dive into Active Directory, so I will just simply continue. What's important about covering tracks? Yeah. We would like to discuss this one, covering tracks. There are a few steps which needs to be performed on hacked system. Auditing by default is enabled and it creates new entries in security log. So when you disable audit, new entries in security logs are not added. Let me show you this example of say for example client machine, this one. I'm Haxor here, whatever, you can be admin. Audit call get category everything. Oh, I don't have privilege. Yeah, user account control. Thank you very much. User account control. Run as admin. So I call audit poll command line, which controls auditing policy on the system. I need to read the current state of the audit policy and all categories of audit policies. So it looks like this. There you see types of events which are being audited and written to security logs, such as successful logon, successful logout, and say what is even more important in here, policy change, user account management, such as user account was created, user account has logged in. You could control it the other way as well, like GP edit MSC. So in group policies, if you navigate to computer configuration, Windows settings, security settings, local policies, this is wrong place, audit policy. This is not this place. But if you go to security options, you will see audit subcategories. This one. It should be enabled, and subcategories are here. And now this is exactly that place which defines what should be audited for different types of events, such as user account management or computer account management in Active Directory, or directory service access, or object access, which means who deletes the files or who has read the file. So for this to work, you need to enable audit of file system, and then you could use cycles to configure audit on file server. So it's not configured, but actually, yeah, I know, not configured, not forcibly configured in group policy. That's the meaning. But default values are here. Those are default values. So you could reconfigure manually like this. Configure nothing. Configure nothing, and so on. One more way to get rid of auditing is audit poll. Clear? Yes. Now you could request this once again, and you will see that nothing is audited. Please try it hard. Of course, any questions, please ask.
It seems straightforward.
Should be. So if you go to security log, if you go to computer management, and then go to event viewer and go to Windows log, security log, you will figure out that there were some logs before, some audit records, and then you see the special logging type audit policy change that since now no audit should be provided and new messages are not coming to the log because new audit is disabled. The next question is, okay, what about existing events? Because when you attack the system, it produces a lot of events in security log. So you need to clear the existing log. How do you do this? There is one more command line window. You can do it like right click, clear log, could be good. And Windows event utility. Clear security. So I have disabled new events, and existing events will be removed from security log. Enter. Now let me check my log. Refresh. And yes, now security log is clean, with exception, with one exception which I don't like. And this exception is exactly this one, that audit log was cleared by Haxor today, a few minutes ago. I think that's not the best idea. And say, what do I do with this? Let me show. I will screw the clock. Date 010101. Time 000000.00. And now clear. Clear security. Basically, should be fine. If I refresh, not as good. I see 2 records. That event log was cleared by Haxor, and one more security system time was changed. And who did that? Do you recognize the reason of changing system time? Who did that? It's on the screen. So basically, I have screwed the clock, but something returned the clock back again. What is this?
Oh, I guess
TCP synchronization, no?
Virtualization, yeah, that's correct. So VBox service XZ, guest additions. So I need to take this into account, and during enumeration, I must take it into account that this system is virtualized. So what I do next is net stop VBox service or service. Stopped. Now I can screw the clock. Now I can clear security log and refresh. And this is it. Yeah, the security log was cleared by Haxor, but it was done when? Some years ago. And if you use golden ticket attack, so you will see not Haxor, you will see Elon Musk, who has cleared this security log. So this is quite funny. If you do all together, you complete the all the pieces of the puzzle together. Next, I need to launch VBox service because now security protocols are not working. I'm not only screwed the clock on the system, so any new security records are invalid because clock is screwed. But also some security protocols such as SSL may not work. Okay, I'm calling that start VBox service. And now I'm happy with this. So attacker has cleared the lock some 24 years ago, and now VBox service has restored the clock. But it actually still we have some evidence of something, but that's even more. There is application lock, there is a system lock, and if you figure out this folder, you will see a lot of logs actually, and all of this is digital evidence. So what you're going to do next is Windows Event Utility, enumerate logs. And there's the list of logs on the system. There are a lot of logs. Next, it could be a good idea to delete them all. Let me find this keystroke. I don't see it directly in here, but give me a second because I have saved it in a separate checklist. A second. Maybe this is gonna work. Devices shared clipboard bidirectional paste. Whew. This is not as complicated. Oh, stop! Not this one. This is not as complicated expression. A minute. I will search for another expression. I don't see it, so I am visiting my tools. In CH tools and system hacking, covering tracks, clear event log batch. So I will check maybe this one. So in cycle 4, this one not necessary. This is admin, not admin. Yeah, in this cycle 4. So it calls for Windows event utility enumerate logs, and for each entry, it calls the procedure of clearing Windows event utility clear specific log, like this. So you could try, and it will clear out all the logs in the system. Once again, where you can find this batch file, it's in CH Tools Module 6, covering tracks. Next thing, let me add something to this. If you drop some executable on the desktop on C drive, for example, SnowXZ, let me copy it to the root of the C drive. Oh yeah, this one, for example. This is also digital evidence. All of this is digital evidence. And if you check properties of this file, if you go to security, if you go to advanced, oh no, this is not what I wanted to show you. Okay, I can do it in a little different way on victim machine. If Peter, is it Peter? Or this is admin, this is admin. I will switch to Peter. If Peter drops some executable to, for example, anything, whatever, copy, say to the C drive. Because I have patched this already. Anyway, to desktop. You will see that he is the owner of this executable, like this. This is not what I wanted to present as digital evidence. I will do it in a little different way. So SnowXZ, do I have some fake account in here? Yes, manager. Yes, that's manager's fault. So in command line, I need admin privileges. In command line, I'm going to the root of the C drive. What we have in here, SnowXZ. I cackles snow set owner space manager. Go. Access denied. Why? Run as administrator. Yes, because stupid UAC. I cackles snow set owner manager because of space. Go. Now let me check the owner of SnowXZ. Yes, now that's correct. So I'm trying to confuse the digital forensics by changing file attributes such as the owner, such as permissions, and maybe a little bit more. Let me check if I have this program. Yes, I have it. if I go to File Attributes, Control A, I can modify last write time, creation time. Let it be 2022. Oh, no. 28. No. 22. 20. Come on, give me this. 22, 22, 22, set. Yes. Let me check once again. Control A, as you might see, the attributes got changed. And now we see that that file was created, or folder maybe, created several years ago, so it's not under suspicion or something. This is a built-in file. So this could be kind of complicated work to figure out what exact attributes to set. I'm presenting you the capability of doing this. So you can change owner, you can change attributes, and by this you can confuse digital forensics. So it's not limited to just simply deleting logs. Or say, I need to securely delete dump file to remove this digital evidence. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to Peter Tools. I'm going to sysinternals. In sysinternals, I have some interesting executable, which is called asDelete. asDelete, this one. So asDelete, accept EULA. To not to ask me anything, EULA. C LSAS. No. What's your problem? Stupid UAC, maybe. Okay, we'll do it in a little different way. New shortcut for Z. C drive. I can use CMD as well. I just simply like working with File Manager. It's outstanding software. Okay, good. Right click administrator. Okay, good. Now I'm going to E drive, sysinternals asDelete, accept, LSAS, go. Okay, so this file was securely deleted. So unrecoverably deleted from the system. And that's even more. Consider you have deleted some file or folder, maybe like from hacks or desktop, like this Windows Update log. Just simply delete it, remove from recycle bin. Can you recover this file? Is it possible? Because it wasn't securely deleted. Yeah, you can. But I will clean up the free space. I will do it with built-in command Cypher. Cypher is designed to work with encryption, with encrypted file system and digital certificates. It also has some option W, wipe. So Cypher wipe C. The syntax is exactly like this. Now it's writing zeros all over the free space. Then, after that, it will write FFs. And the third pass, it will write random bytes over the all free space. So by this, free space will be unrecoverably damaged. So again, this is a good idea to clear logs, screw the clock, change ownership, change file attributes, and remove your attack tools in a secure way. So nobody can recover from this. And that's not even it. So we did it. We did this one. Let me discuss this one because this is also an interesting part. This is very important part for everybody, just everybody. And this part is called shadows. Have you ever used shadows? Have we discussed shadows before? No? Okay, so to present you shadows, I will go to Windows Server because that's the simplest way. And say I don't have additional disks, so I will do it from system drive. If you right click this properties, if you go to shadow copies, you could establish snapshots. In settings, I will configure snapshots with no limit of the size and schedule. On a typical file server in my company, I have the single schedule, so it begins at 9 a.m. during business hours, of course. All the days we work on, and it continues till the end of the business hours, such as 6:05 p.m. Repeat every 1 hour. So what you see from this configuration, snapshots of disk will be created every hour, beginning the morning until the evening during business days. Okay, create now. So the first shadow is created. If you go to this disk and say you damage some file or delete some file, do we have some file in here? No, where's my some file? Anything? I need to damage some text.config ini. Edit. Save. So this file is damaged, encrypted, screwed, anything. If you call properties of this file, if you go to previous versions, you will see the previous version of this file. Restore. Yes, restore. And now if you open it, you will see the original undamaged file. If you totally remove this file, delete, totally delete. So you call folder properties. In folder properties, you will see previous version of the folder. You can check what's inside and restore this folder. And ini file is back again. So back to configuration, shadows. As you might see, there is some depth of shadows. The default one is 64 copies, which could be increased to 512 copies. If you make like 10 copies a day, 60 copies a week, so by default, you could have a depth of a week. Typically, I increase to 256, so I have up to 4 weeks of hourly copies in here. And it takes maybe 1 to 10% of disk space, say 10%. So on 2 terabyte disk, it takes like maybe 200 gigabytes, no more, for so many copies. So this should be done on all servers with no exclusion. This should be done on all workstations with no exclusion. How do we do this on workstations? Let me check if I can show you this in my domain. A second. Okay, let me show you this group policy in my computer, in my home network. So I schedule for all PCs shadow copy task, which is working under system privileges. Oopsie, I haven't decided. I haven't finished this yet. Okay, let me do it like this. 9 a.m. every morning. There's no repetition on workstations. Actions. So first, you need to forcibly enable computer restore, and the second, you call vmake.exe with shadow copy creation. So this is done by a group policy on all workstations. I'm not talking about servers. On servers, I do it manually on file service. But this one is deployed to all workstations. So workstations are also shadowed. So in case somebody attacks me and deletes data from disk, I am able to recover from shadow. So it should be done on all workstations with no exclusion. Basically, this is it here. But we are hackers, right? We need to break this security. It's not like simply to keep it for admins. So what could be two use cases for attacker of shadows? Let me show you an example. If you go to C drive, if you go to Windows folder, system32 config, and try to copy some file, not to move, just simply copy, it will tell you that cannot be completed because it's in use. If you go to domain controller and try to steal from the C drive Windows folder NTDS, try to steal, I'm a limited user, try to steal NTDS DIT file, you will be stopped because it's in use. Let's play with shadows. So, few commands, 3 commands. First command is vssadmin list shadows. So by this, you enumerate shadows on this machine. And let me take this one, the latest one. Make link directory C blah blah to point to this shadow. I also added backslash. So make link directory C blah blah 2 point to shadow. Go. Now on the C drive, I have in the root of the C drive, I have a link blah blah 2, which is link to shadow. That's not the original data. This is the data. This one is shadow. And then you go to Windows, system32 config SAM copy paste. Now it works because shadow is not locked for use. So attackers can steal data from shadows, not necessarily from original. This also presents you an additional attack vector of backups. You could steal data from backups sometimes when backup is not protected with decals. And you could also destroy backups if you have an access to backup. Okay, so I got this SAM file stolen. Now I can delete C blah blah 2 because I don't need this folder anymore. It's done. And the second is I want to encrypt all the user data and ask for ransom in my ransomware. So I need to delete shadows. vssadmin delete shadows /all. Yes. So that's the command. And now there are no more shadows on this machine. And now I can go with Cipher to make it totally unrecoverable. Is it any good?